What's up guys, my name is Doe and today I'm discussing the new Trials mode as well as the Later Luck store and the Season 6 Hunt Pass. But a quick plug first, if you guys don't know, I do have an Epic Games support card code. Use that code on the Epic Games store or in-game when you're buying plat or any items, and that helps me out a ton and I greatly appreciate it. But let's go ahead and start off with talking about Trials. The word Trials should ring a bell because myself, Revy, and many other members of the community have been hyping it up ever since we heard about it, because this mode was said to be built with veteran slayers in mind, and that's definitely the case after playing in the Dauntless difficulty for just a little bit. This difficulty makes it so behemoths are at a power level of 22, which is 5 levels higher than heroic plus behemoths, which are going to be 17. And that's not the hardest part. The hardest part is the modifiers added into this mode. And to give an example, the first behemoth will be Shocked and Zyga. This behemoth will have 7 total modifiers, and that's going to include 1 chance. Slayers do not have any self-revive, so if you mess up solo, that's a dead run. In a group, if you get hit pretty much one time in most cases, so any mistake can cost you a run or just make your time a little bit worse. But to go into the modifiers a bit more, there's also going to be Near Sight from Shroud, which is that big bubble it has whenever you can't see very well, as well as Icy Grasp. This is the Pangar modifier on Heroic, and it's not a fun time, so you're going to have to watch your feet a lot in this mode. And it's going to be really hard to try and juggle everything all at once, which is what makes this mode pretty difficult. Now the hardest modifier in my opinion is going to be Aftershock, and this is taken from Rachel Nasher, so it's the tremors that it does whenever it tail slams or whenever it stomps. And this is put onto every slam attack in Zyga's kit. This is a really hard time to dodge. I'm just being honest with you, it does a ton of damage too if you get hit, so if you're caught off guard, you will most likely die. And just a heads up, if you see Shockshot going Aether form, just run. Just run as fast as you can. And to sidetrack real quick, I want to say thank you to Dauntless for sponsoring this video yet again. Thank you for the support, and thank you for making an amazing game that I've enjoyed playing for an entire year. Just thank you. Now that I've shown you the hardest version of Trials, I'm going to go ahead and show you the normal version. So this is going to be a mode which is going to be normal, and in this mode it's not going to be as intense. Instead of fighting a level 22 behemoth, you'll be fighting a level 19 one. So in this case it's still Shockjaw, and the modifiers will be Last Stand. This gives you 1 revive. So if you go down, whether you're solo or in a group, you can revive yourself once. If you're in a group, you can be revived as many times as the danger meter allows, but still, it's a nice little feature to give you 1 extra revive to sort of get up quickly. So if you're playing solo, it's not just over if you die. And the modifiers remaining will stay the same, except you won't have tremors, and that's actually a godsend, because tremors, like I said earlier, are a really deadly modifier to be dealing with. So this is what's going to make the Dauntless version a lot harder than the normal version, just on its own. As a really fast side note, getting staggers and getting part breaks in Trials mode is very hard, especially in the Dauntless difficulty, so don't rely on staggering a behemoth to kill it, because it's going to require you to actually fight it and not just CC it to death, so just a friendly heads up. But let's go ahead and discuss what you get from doing the normal version of the Dauntless Trials mode, and that's going to be pretty much anything involving power, and by power I mean stuff that helps you kill things faster or survive or anything of that nature. And that's going to include some cells, some new mods for pretty much every single weapon, and specials for the hammer and the warpike. And I won't go into too much detail on these because I'm making an entirely separate video discussing those, because there are some pretty sick things included. And if you want my advice, I would suggest picking out the things you think would be the coolest and save up for those, and then work towards everything else later. And also, the prices for everything are going to be 150 still marks for the cells, 250 for the mods, and 500 for the specials, and 150 for some silver cores. This pricing is somewhat important because you can only get 300 still marks per week if you do the requirements. So getting 100 still marks is done by completing the trials on normal in any capacity. So beat it in under 30 minutes, you will get 100 still marks. If you beat it in under 5 minutes, you'll get pretty much another 100 still marks. And if you beat it in under 3 minutes, you will get 100 still marks as well. So beating trials on normal difficulty will give you up to 300 still marks, and that's per week. But that's just in still marks. You can also get up to 300 gilded marks per week, and gilded marks are for cosmetics. These cosmetics currently include a weapon transmog for every single weapon, as well as a really dope blue halo and a banner staff looking thing. And they're actually pretty dope. I really like the silver look on the weapons, but if you guys didn't notice, there is a bunch of gold weapons on the wall. And I'm assuming this is going to be done for, I guess, the folks on the leaderboards, and they will get a much more flashy looking weapon that's going to be gold and black. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens, but I'm going to go ahead and guess it's going to involve the leaderboard to some capacity, and I would assume it will require you to be on the leaderboard when the trials end. At least that's my hope. So it's going to be, hey, be on the leaderboard and be on the leaderboard when the trials ends, not just be on the leaderboard at all and get it, which I wouldn't be opposed to that being the function of it entirely at least, but I guess we'll see. And speaking of C, let's go ahead and discuss the new hunt pass, which is pirate themed. It's pretty sick. So for starters, Season 6 will bring 2 separate hunt passes. The first will be called Fortune and Glory, and that is pirate themed, and the second will be called Zephyr Strike. And for this pass, there is no revealed theme yet, so when there is one, I will let y'all know, but until then, it's a mystery. Anyway, Fortune and Glory definitely hits the mark for a really solid pirate themed hunt pass, and this is going to be one of my favorite hunt passes to date, just because it has the stuff I care about. It's going to have some really dope cosmetics and some really sick landing animations and stuff of the like. And that's the most important thing to me, which is why I'm going to go ahead and show you guys all the things that I think are really cool in the hunt pass, starting with the very beginning stuff. And that's going to include the Corsair armor, the Paradise dye, which is going to be like a green dye for the armor, and the Corsair cutlass, which is going to be a sword skin. In the next tier, you're going to have the Fight to the Finish emote and a Shark Tooth Shine lantern, followed by the Corsair Rumblers, which are a skin for the repeaters, and the Corsair's brow band, which, by the way, everything's going to be called Corsair because it's, I guess, that's a pirate thing. I googled it, it's a pirate thing. And in the next section, you're going to have the Axe Transmog skin, followed by the Chainblade Transmog skin, and you will have the Rose Gold dye. And after that, you'll have your second emote. This will be the Jongier, or something like that. You're juggling knives, I'm not sure how to say it. And you'll also have the Warpike skin, which is the Corsair's Belaying Pike. Sounds fancy. And then you'll get a freaking banner plant. It's going to be the All That Glitters like banner plant. Pretty much when you plant it, you'll spout out gold. It's pretty nifty. I kind of like it. It's pretty fancy. And in the second to last section, you're going to have the Corsair Hullbreaker, which is going to be a hammer skin. And lastly, you'll have the Jaunty Jig, which is going to be a pretty fancy dance, but I'm going to call it the T-pose dance because you're doing a T-pose the whole time. So that's what's happening. With the Lucky Devil Flare, the Treasure Island landing animation, which is freaking sick, by the way. And that's basically all the cosmetics on the Elite Track of the Hunt Pass that I like a lot, which, by the way, the Elite Track of the Hunt Pass will cost you $10 in USD. If you complete it, you'll get back $5 in USD worth in Platinum, and basically it makes the Hunt Pass only cost you $5 in USD if you complete it every single time. In my opinion, it's always worth because you get a ton of cosmetics for $5 if you complete it. So you get an entire transmog skin and a transmog for every single weapon and some dyes. So in my opinion, it's well worth it. But hey, you be the judge. If you like it, then go ham and be sure to use code OhDough at checkout or use someone's credit code, preferably a DOS partner like Revurad, Zenny Phantom. And if you don't want to spend any money, there is a basic track to the Hunt Pass, and this is completely free, costs you nothing, and you still get some pretty good rewards. Now for the cosmetic portion, you will get some pretty cool stuff this time around, and that will include the Jaws of Death banner sigil, the Moon Sail, I guess, banner fabric, which is pretty much my favorite banner fabric to date because it's freaking awesome. I like the way it looks a lot. As well as the Spearhook staff banner staff thing, and the Lucky Dog title. If any of these rewards look like something you want to actually earn, then the best way to do that is going to be through 3 methods. The first and the most common will be by breaking parts to get Gleaming Pearls. This gives you Hunt Pass XP. And the second will be doing your weekly challenges. Each challenge will give you 150 Gleaming Pearls. You'll have 4 challenges per week, and that is 6 entire levels. And the last method to get XP will be from collecting your daily Dread Skulls. Each skull will give you 5 Hunt Pass XP with a total of 10 skulls per day. So just run around Ramsgate collecting these and you'll get XP that way. And that's the Hunt Pass in a nutshell. And I want to say one last thing about the Dauntless Trials, and that's going to be that this mode will have its own island. There will be its own island for trials. There won't be any fleeing from the behemoths, no chasing down behemoths, locating them, none of that stuff. You will drop down, be on this landing mat, and then pop your potions, and then be propelled into the behemoth, and the fight starts. This means there will be no extra ring around, because if you're fighting a behemoth in, say, a patrol like Heroic Plus or Heroic, your kill timer is also taken into account you're running to a behemoth. And that's not the most fun thing in the world, right? To have your kill timer be affected by you fighting a behemoth first, that's not a great feeling, especially if you're doing your masteries, which, by the way, this mode will count towards masteries from what I've seen. So if you want to do a sub 3 minute run on, say, normal trials mode, that is a really good option to do outside of getting, say, a perfect spawn in regular patrols. So this could be a really awesome way for anyone that has a hard time getting a good spawn for their sub 3 hunts to actually get those now. But with that, that is the end of this video. If you guys liked it, leave a like. If you want to, drop a comment. And let me know if you're excited for trials, the Hunt Pass, pretty much anything, the Lady Luck store, all that stuff, because I can tell you right now, I am extremely excited. And I will also be streaming this as soon as the patch is live over at twitch.tv/OhDough. And if you guys do not have this game downloaded, be sure to download Dauntless at playdauntless.com/r/OhDough. I highly recommend playing this game because it's free to play, not pay to win, and it's fun to play. It's got a lot going for it, and it's going to keep improving and getting better like it has been for the entirety of the past year I've been playing it. And I really recommend this game. It's a great game, and it's just a great time. So you guys will enjoy it, but thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Let's go.
We're nuts, doggy.
Wait, a shockwave comes out.
Yeah.
Troll as hell, bro.
Hey. Hey. Hey, I got an A. I'm upset, actually.
I got double S.
What?
No, I got S and then team rank S.
Okay.